Hey, what's going on, guys? Thanks for checking out this new episode of Restoration of Vick. For today's episode, we are going to be customizing these Air Jordan 1 lasers into a Doernbecher 6 colorway theme. For those of you who are not familiar with the Doernbecher 6, those colors involved a blue, a metallic red, and gold. We're going to be implementing those colors by dyeing the soles red, painting the uppers that blue and metallic red color, dyeing the sock liner gold, and doing some stencil work. But before we get started, make sure you guys are subscribed to our YouTube channel and give this video a thumbs up. So, let's get to it. The first step we're going to be doing before we get started painting is prepping the leather using some acetone and cotton balls. We're all done prepping the leather. Now we're going to move on to dyeing the sock liner gold. The first thing we got to do is tape off the rest of the shoe first. Shoes are taped up, ready to go. We're going to be dyeing the sock liner gold using some gold paint mixed with a 50-50 ratio of GAC 900 and then with a little bit of tooth thin so it can flow nicely through the airbrush. Thought it was closed. Sock liner's dyed. Now the next thing we're gonna do is remove some of the tape in this area right here so we can repaint the Air Jordan logo using gold and an airbrush. For the Air Jordan Wings logo, we're gonna be using Jacquard's Airbrush True Gold paint. We're all done with the Air Jordan logo. We're gonna do the exact same process on this little square right here. We're all done laying down the gold paint. Now we're gonna move on to removing the tape and this bag so we can lay down this metallic red using a paintbrush. Before we lay down the metallic red, we're going to lay down a hopping base coat so the metallic red can lay down a lot easier. Red's down, it's looking really sick next to that gold. Now the next thing we gotta do is lay down this bluish purplish color on the upper leather, but first we gotta tape off the sole. We got the majority of the leather painted. All we gotta do now is finish up the edges on this Air Jordan logo and do the detail work using this detail brush. We're all done with the Air Jordan logo. It looks really clean. Now we're gonna move on to the tongues. First thing I gotta do is tape off around the Nike Air patch so we can spray it with Jacquard gold paint and an airbrush. Before we move on to the next step, I want to let you guys know that I'm not going to be painting the letters on the tongue like I usually do. And that's because I think it looks best as is. And if I paint the letters, I think it's going to look a little sloppy. So let's move on to the next step, which is dyeing the tongues the same color blue as the leather. But first, we got to mix it with a 50-50 ratio of GAC 900. Tongues are completely done. These look really good. Now we're gonna move on to the next step, which is the stencil work. The first one I'm gonna lay down is this number 1 in the back. Once it's laid down, we're gonna lay down some Jacquard white paint through the airbrush. First stencil laid down nicely. Now we're gonna move on to laying down the stripes on the toe box. This stencil is gonna be a little bit more trickier to lay down, so bear with me. Now we're gonna move on to taping off the rest of the shoe so we can lay down the darker blue for the stripes. Paint's down. Now we're gonna go ahead and remove the tape and bag. Alright guys, gonna wrap it up with these custom Doernbecher 6 laser ones. Honestly, in the beginning when I was laying down the blue, they were looking a little bit shitty, but now I'm honestly proud of how these came out. These things look awesome. Just a quick recap on what I did. I painted the uppers blue with a metallic red, dyed the sock liner gold, painted this tiny Air Jordan logo, did some stencil work on the toe box as well as the back. These were a lot of work, but they were well worth doing. Before I leave you guys, if you're a musician, artist, or producer, check out the description below to see how you get your music played on our YouTube channel. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. See you guys next Monday.